I was a loan officer for many years and had ties with the Hispanic community. They would come to me just like any other loan, conventional loan. I did good credit and bad credit. But in the Hispanic, they would come to oftentimes get denied for the loan because their Social Security did not match their information given. I kind of started looking for if there was any other programs that could help them. And I was approached by a bank called American Home Mortgage. Write that name down because that's important. There's a tie going back of corruption, and I just can't wait to reveal this to you guys. But I did these mortgages. American Home Mortgage actually approached me to a program that they had been offering along with only a handful of other banks. And the mortgages I called ITIN mortgage, the ITIN mortgage. Now, if you know what an ITIN number is, it's a IRS issued these numbers for businesses to be able to start businesses, but they also passed a law, which I'll give a link, that they knew that the Hispanics were here legally, working here legally, that they thought they got wised up and said, okay, well, we know you're here. Let's make them issue this ITIN number so that we can at least track their employment and get paid from it, basically. Take the taxes out. So the ITIN mortgage was just like a conventional mortgage in a lot of ways. They would have to supply me pay stubs, W-2s, the tax returns, the full tax returns, and I'd have to fill out something called, it's like an IRS 1040 form where I would send it to the IRS, and as long as all the information matched up on their taxes that they claimed all the money they said they did, along with some trade lines and a few other criteria, they were allowed to purchase a home with their ITIN number. So there's millions of illegal immigrants here that have purchased homes legally through the government's program with the ITIN mortgage. Now, on any mortgage, I'm not sure if you know, but if, say for instance, I'm buying a $100,000 house and I have to put 20% of that $100,000 down, which was $20,000, and able to avoid mortgage insurance. But in this case, the program was set up on a 3 to 5 year arm. There was a short period where they were giving them fixed loans, but very short. So keep this in mind: a 3 to 5 year arm. They also made them put 3 to 5% down, and oftentimes a 10% down, just depending on what bank it was. But my particular bank that I was doing these loans for was 3 to 5%. Just kind of the program started out small, like in 2005, but really got going in 2006, where they purchased the house with their ITIN number, and then they would have to get provided the mortgage insurance. Now here's the key. There's another company called MGIC. MGIC is that mortgage insurance company I was telling you about. They basically there's millions of companies out there that provide mortgage insurance, but for some reason there was only a couple with the ITIN program that was helping with the mortgage insurance. I felt good about doing these loans for these people. They work hard. I don't agree with them coming here illegally, but I have some proof to you, and I'll provide these links as we go. But they were quietly wooing the Hispanics. They opened arms. They had open arms to allow them. Say, hey, I know you're here working here legally. I'm going to give you, some benefits. I'm going to give you, hey, let's give you a house too while we're at it. Just go ahead and give me a high interest rate. Their interest rate was around 8%. Give me 3 to 5% of the down payment on that house, and then I want you to go over to my buddies over here and get the mortgage insurance, okay? Where the mortgage insurance on a normal house on $100,000, say, would be $65 a month. They're paying $115 a month, pretty much double, okay? And here's where the story gets interesting. Millions of people across the country would come to loan officers like myself and get this ITIN program started. They would come here, work many jobs. Oftentimes I'd get W-2s with 5 different illegal names. They'd go purchase work names is what they called them. But as long as those numbers that, the 5 different illegal work names that they use, often from deceased people, as long as they matched up with the IRS, they were cool. And what gets strange is it probably gives people, like, what the heck is she talking about? But I'm serious. These people bought homes. There's millions of homes right now that these illegal immigrants bought with their ITIN number, purchased their mortgage insurance through MGIC, and now a few months back, I called up because I feel like they are using the illegal immigrants for a political. They know that the vote's there because basically, you know, if one's strongly opinionated about something, the rest will follow. So that's how so many people got these ITIN mortgages, because they were happy to be able to give themselves security, their families. But in 2007, the American Home Mortgage, they closed with shortly after bank after bank after bank closed. And I feel strongly that everybody in this subject, they were all in it together. I have some information about the presidents having their hand in it. And American Home Mortgage, they closed, but they kept their servicing department open. The servicing department is where they're not originating any more loans, but the loans that they have on their books, they're continuing to service. Now, when American Home Mortgage closed, shortly after that, MGIC, their stocks were at $60 a share. After they closed and American Home Mortgage closed, the MGIC actually sold their stock to a private entity. Now, I haven't been able to track it down, but I have a feeling, I'm wondering where this money is. So they would sell this, the loans to the private mortgage insurance. So the reason I'm telling this story today, there's a lot of information to give you, but the moral of the story is, if I was here or I crossed the border from Mexico and I wanted to better my family, and I went straight to Chicago and purchased 5 different work names or names that I could use to live my life. I went to work for a company that gave me a house that I could actually purchase legally with the ITIN number. I would jump on it if it was me, because I'm giving stability to my family. But the wrong thing about it, this story is, I might have worked and made $38,000 that year, and the government took their taxes and out of it. But what I want to know is there's also a portion of Social Security tax, which I have a link to, that they've been taking out for years and years and years, that they could never draw off of because they're not legal. But where's that Social Security money? Where is that Social Security money? Is it in a fund system somewhere? I want to see it. And not just that, but now that I'm here and I purchased my home, you want to come and out of my workplace and threaten my business because you want to say that I'm here illegally? Well, you let me come. You gave me an opportunity to come here. Yes, I did cross the border. Yes, I just did cross the border illegally. But hey, you let me work here. You knew I was working here with a fake name and fake Social Security number. You could have tracked that. Well, besides the Social Security money, besides the fact that you made a law that allowed them to sell homes to me legally, now, after all this has happened, you're going to use us, Hispanic community, to use for your own political gain? What's the story? Why did you do that? Where's all this money at? Why are you friends with the companies, these banks that gave these loans to these people? Why is it that I can track the government to these handful of banks and this MGIC? What happened after the stock thing? Where did MGIC, where did they sell their stocks to? Who's the private entity? So what now? Social Security money that we'll never see, they'll never see. Where did that go, for one? MGIC, they took well, first of all, they took 3 to 5% of cash from these people. Where did that money go? They gave them a high interest rate and made them pay that private mortgage insurance with MGIC. And then you're going to come right behind us in 2010 and try to scare us out of here by making laws, these new laws, so that we sit with our houses empty. Who's going to own these houses now that you let us purchase houses here legally? Who's going to own these houses now that they're sitting in foreclosure, empty? I want to know, and I want somebody to tell me, because there's something wrong with this picture, and it does make me upset because I was the one originating these loans for these people. And I did feel good about it, doggone it. I felt real good about it because these people work hard. And hey, I mean, they gave them a loan. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, they're the ones that are holding the paper for a lot of these right now. So they knew that it was there, but I think they knew and planned this out long ago so that they could, millions of houses sit foreclosed. Something else is going on here, and because there's something else going on, I just ask that you be led by the Spirit. There's a lot more to what I'm trying to tell you, and I'm going to provide some links that I'm hoping that you can look up for yourself. It's a scary thing and a scary time that we're living in. We got to ask ourselves why. Where did all the money go? Why did they do that? I know it's a lot of information, and a lot of people just don't understand about mortgages and the whole thing. And continue to pray and be led by this. So, thank you for letting me do my first YouTube video. Thank you.
An estimate of 6 to 8 million of undocumented Latinos alone represented a potential of 44 million market of homes, according to the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals. The IRS accepted their tax payments. Moreover, many households and any undocumented immigrants. Their homes also included legal permanent residents or U.S. citizens. They frequently had children that were born in their homes as well. Many that accommodate their legal presence encourages them to stay and also encourages others to come. Remember, I told you that Obama was for infiltration of illegals. You are seeing this in action here. He's hoping to get him more votes when he gives them their right. But there's even something more sinister in the mix. They are tracking them and controlling them since 1990. This was a way for banks to woo them. All the links to everything that my informant has been talking about and I'm giving you information on is in the link box. Please read all the links. You'll be well informed. The IRS did not want to tell tens of thousands of taxpayers to stop paying tax because they used an invalid Social Security number. So they sent notices to employers requesting these employers with invalid Social Security numbers to fill out an application for a TIN number. That's how it began. This is the way that people who had been using the invalid Social Security number that was working in the United States began working under a valid ITIN number. And that's how the tracking began. And then they began to manipulate the immigrants who didn't have a valid Social Security number, who were working in plants illegally with an illegal Social Security number. They now had a way to document them. Tens of thousands of immigrants were now paying taxes, but they had a way to track them with their ITN number. So now they were going to woo them into buying homes. So they sent out letters to lenders telling them where these workers were, how much they made, what kind of credit they had, telling them they all were credit ready. Go get them, sick them. I will give you information later that will tell you why they have been coming at a fast rate across the border. Corruption is steep. Corruption smells. This message that I'm displaying was left on my channel one day. I'm not going to repeat it. I'm going to let you read it. It's very true. These were all promised to them. But if you read the very last link that's placed at the bottom, you'll understand and you'll know. The working ones that paid their Social Security paid for their own housing. They paid for their education, just like you and I. I am not bashing any nationality in any way. I'm informing you of corruption. Please know that. This is Ruby.